distance apart. And we're going to begin with that flying up exercise. So you're going to take your hands and bring them to the sides of the head, cupping the ears, so thumbs in the front of the ear, fingers wrapped behind. And you're just going to do a really nice gentle lift up through the crown of the head, pressing the feet down into the floor. Inhaling, lifting up very gently with the hands. And then exhale, trying not to shrink back down, pulling the belly back towards the spine, lifting up through the crown of the head. Soften the knees a little bit, make sure you're not locking them out. Inhale again, just a gentle lift with the hands, drawing back through the belly button and glide your hips a little bit over to your right. So try not to have that baby hip out to the side. Good. And inhale again, pulling back through the center. And exhale, try not to shrink back down. Good, relax the arms, give yourself a little shake, a little wiggle. Very good. So now we're going to do your balance exercise. I want you to bring your right foot out, your left foot a little bit out ahead of you here. And you're lifting up nice and tall through the crown of the head, pulling the belly back towards the spine. And you're going to lift that knee up to hip height, exhale, and tap it back down. So soften that supporting leg, exhale, lift it up, inhale, lower. We're going to do two more with your hands on your hips. So you're pressing down through the hands to lift the ribs away from the tops of the hips. So you're getting that nice elongation there. Good, now bring your arms up into a V position. Still lifting up nice and tall, so try to have a nice length through both sides of the waist without shrugging the shoulders. Good, exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Length through the back of the neck. I think I lied, one more time. Good, and now go ahead and relax. Very nice, and we're going to do the other side. So now you're standing on your left leg, your right foot is out ahead of you. Try to really hug that left hip in and up. You want to think about that hip traveling towards your opposite shoulder. Good, really challenging to keep it there as you lift that knee up. And lift and lower back down. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Now let's do a few, reaching the arms up into that V position. Check your supporting knees, soften it a little bit. Really finding length through the crown of the head. Two more lifts. Try to lift from your center to bring that knee up to hip height. And back down. Good. Shake it out. Now remember, if you're feeling like super wobbly on that and it's just kind of frustrating, you can hold on gently to a chair or a wall just to get that movement down. Also, when you're lifting, I forgot to cue you on this, when you're lifting your left knee, you want to make sure that you're not hiking it up even further. So you really want to find that nice fold at the hip to lift the leg there, okay? So now you're going to come, grab your chair. You want to get one that isn't moving around. And you're going to straddle the chair facing the back of the seat. Let's make sure I'm still in the picture. Okay. So feet are out wide and your hands are going to come to the top of the chair. You're going to press down into your hands, press down into your feet to lift the spine up nice and tall. We're going to glide and press down through your left hip a little bit more to take out that hip hike. Pull back through the belly button. Then you're rotating and opening up behind those left ribs, so that's your tide pull side. Trying to hug everything in towards midline. press down through the hands, press down through the feet. And as you exhale, try not to shrink back down. Inhale again, pressing down to the feet, down into the hands, floating out through the crown of the head. Good. Don't shrink as you exhale. And one more time, pressing down into the feet, down into the hands. Champagne bubbles running up and down the spine, floating out through the top of the head. Press down through the left hip, elbows out wide. Good. Go ahead and shake it out. All right, nice work. Carefully come out of that position, and then you're going to sit on the chair facing the other way. Scoot forward so that your feet are flat, and you're going to bring your hands down by your sides on the chair. Press down into the hands to lift the spine up nice and tall. And you're going to tip up and over to your left. The focus here is keeping both sides of the waist nice and long, and then come back to center. And you're going to tip up and over to your right. So we're not side bending here and collapsing. So you're tipping up and over. Opposite butt cheek will lift up off that chair. Come back to center. Tip up and over. Good, draw your ribs in and back into the body. Length through the crown of the head. And tip the other way. Come back to center. And now you're going to tip over to your left. Keep your right hand down on the chair. And you're going to reach that bottom arm up. And then bring it back down. Exhale, lift, pull back through the belly button. Back through those left ribs. So it's going to be, I think I'm probably just confused you a little bit, but you definitely are pulling back through your left ribs. So these will be your left ribs. And one more time. Good. Come back to center and tip up and over to your right. And lift that bottom arm up. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Try not to collapse into those bottom ribs. Last time. Lower back down, come back to center and shake it out. Good. Okay, so now we're going to come onto the mat or your floor. And just a couple more things. So I'm going to have you lay onto your right side first. This is your sand dune side, and the side that needs to stay lifted up off that mat. So you're going to lay down and keep your bottom knee bent, straighten out the top leg, and reach your top arm up and over to keep those ribs up off the mat. You're pulling back through the belly button here, reaching out through the crown of the head, and you're going to lift that top leg up and lower back down. So you're really reaching through the left leg to take out that hip glide. Good, pulling back through the belly button. Exhale and lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Try to keep the left ribs in towards the body, opening up behind those ribs on your left side. Good, and now on your next one, you're going to keep that leg lifted. Do teeny tiny little circles, keeping everything still. Trying not to rock and roll here. Good, and teeny tiny little circles the other way. Taking the wiggle out of that movement, out of the hips, out of the shoulders. Last time. Good, lower that leg down and let yourself relax. And just do a few basking seal here, just to release through the spine. You can tap out that hip. Ooh, okay. Nice work. Okay, now you're going to do the other side. So this is your tied full side. We're going to stretch that bottom arm out and lay down and try and keep all of those ribs down into the mat. Your bottom knee is bent, top leg is straight here, okay? And now you're going to reach your top arm up towards the ceiling and really reach those fingertips so that your shoulder is reaching away from your spine here. So that's helping your upper curve de-rotate there. So you're going to lift that leg up and inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Good. So we're just lifting up to hip height. We're finding length through this top leg, but not quite as much as you are on the other side because you don't have your glide to the right here. Your hip glide is to the left. Drop that chin down. Good, and now on the next one, you're going to keep that leg lifted at hip height, teeny tiny circles. So you're circling the leg from the hip, and the rest of the leg is just coming along for the ride. Good, 2 more. And now circle the other way. So you want to imagine that you're tracing something the size of a dime or a quarter with your heel. So it's a pretty small circle there. Good, 2 more times. And allow that leg to release, tap it out. It's a lot of work in through the side of the hip. Good, strengthening there. And just a few basking seal here. Good, nice work. Okay, so now you're going to come onto your back for Sleepy Flamingo. Okay, so you're going to bend up your right knee and place that foot flat on the floor, and you're going to reach long through that left leg. Okay, so now you're going to bring your right hand on top of, your left hand on top of your left shoulder, and your right arm is going to reach up on the diagonal here. You're reaching your hand and your foot away from each other. And then as you exhale, you're going to bring that leg to a hover and try and keep that right hip down. This is a tremendous amount of work here. And lower back down. And exhale, reach through that left leg, through the heel, bring that leg to a hover. And lower back down. And 2 more times, exhale. Inhale, lower. And exhale, hover. And inhale, lower. Good. Go ahead and shake it out. And now you're going to go the opposite way. So you're going to have your left knee bent, right leg is straight. Still find that nice reach through the left hip towards your left heel. And now your left arm is going to reach overhead. Right hand is going to come to the top of the right shoulder. Elbows reaching out to the side of the room. And exhale, bring that right leg to a hover now. And inhale, lower. So keep that reach with the left hip. Exhale, hover. Inhale, lower. Good, try not to rock to your right here. Exhale, hover. Inhale, lower. Exhale, hover and hold. Inhale, lower. Last time. Inhale, lower. Good. Hug both knees in. And give yourself a little rock side to side. Okay, last thing, you're going to come onto your hands and your knees for a little rocking. So your knees are directly under your hips. You're going to walk your hands out a little bit ahead of your shoulders. you're propped up onto your fingertips here. Imagine you have suction cups under those fingertips that aren't letting you move. You're going to reach your sitting bones back towards the heels, keeping the spine nice and long. And inhale, rock it forward. Trying not to sink here, drawing in and up through the belly button. Rock it back, reaching those sitting bones away from the fingertips, kind of pulling with the fingers. And then rock yourself forward. Drawing in strong through the belly button, leading yourself back towards the heels, finding that reach and that length. And then bring yourself forward. 2 more times, drawing in strong through that belly button, rocking it back. And forward.